Hey guys, it's Ed again. We're going to be working on putting the connecting rod in the piston today for the old Evinrude. And we do have some better tools, so that's a good thing. One of the things I created, I'll be honest with you, if you guys saw me beat on that other one, I had to do something. So what I did was I took that piece of steel that I had and I made a punch. Basically, I turned it down on the lathe, so it's got an insert. Here's a wrist pin that came out of one of those motors, and I made this part so it fits perfectly snug inside there. That makes sure that this driver is going to be exactly on top of it, dead center. And I made it just a few thousandths smaller so I get the biggest impact area as possible. And then I even turned down, you guys might be able to see here, I even turned down this end a little bit because this is the end that you would be hit on, and it could get mushroomed up a little bit, but I think there's plenty of material there from that line. I think you guys can see the reflection to there. There's probably a good 1.5 inches to knock that pin out. I did use it on, okay, so anyway, let me go back a little bit. When I took the piston off the other one, the other piston kind of came out like this. Not so pretty. So what I've done is I had to come up with something different. I can't do that to a new piston. That would be bad. So, but it was a learning to figure out how that thing came apart. So anyway, I did put this piston together. As you guys can, well, wait, that's not the piston I put together. Where's the piston I put together? Here it is. This is the new piston. Okay, new piston. I even put a mark on the top towards the exhaust side so I know when it goes in. So this is the exhaust side. Facing you is the top of the engine because it's going this way, and the holes, let me turn the light on. There's holes right in here, and up here at the top. Holes go up towards the top of the motor. So I think we got it all together correctly. This is the bottom piston, or is this one the bottom one? I believe this is the bottom piston. So because I started on the roughest one first. So I may even put a little B on this so I know that it's bottom. So there's a little B on it. So we're going to work on, I'm going to get you guys changed up here a little bit, get you a different angle, and maybe we will use the new tool over here. If you guys watched the video last night, you guys will see that there is a new tool right here. This is the 20-ton Harbor Freight press. If that doesn't press them out, I don't know what will. So be back in a second. Okay guys, we have the new piston right here, and the rings are already on it. I think I'm going to pop the rings off just because I don't want to damage them in the pressing procedure. So let me see if I can get that ring to pop off there. Nobody's confirmed yet that I am putting the rings on correctly, which I'm 99% sure I am because of the cone, the concave shape. This is dished out in the middle. Makes sense that they go that way. So but I could be wrong. I think I was wrong once, or was I mistaken? Come on, ring. Jump up off there. Trying to be careful. Break the ring, I'll be sad. They went on a lot easier than they're coming off here. There. Okay, we got the ring off. I didn't notice anything weird about these rings, like a top or a bottom. There's no, you know, sometimes they got like a little shelf on them or something, so the square ring has to go in the bottom, and I don't think there's an up or down to it. So anyway, that's the rings off the new piston. Here is the old piston, and let's get these rings out. I actually went with my old pair of needle nose pliers that I had, and they seem to work pretty good. I think I sharpened them at one point to do this job. See? The wrong tool for the job. Always works. So we'll get these pins or wrist pin retainers, clips. Look at that. So we got those out. Now if we look inside the piston, down inside here, you got to kind of look around. It'll say loose right there. I know you guys probably can't see that, but right, it's actually, you can make out the L-O-O-S-E. So that is the loose side. So you don't drive from the loose side. Otherwise it'd be this way and it'll never come out. You drive from this side over here towards the loose side using our handy dandy tool that we created, which sits right down inside there, just like them so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you over and get you set up on the press. Okay guys, what I've got here is I got a little jig that I made, which is made out of just the pieces of some 2x4, and it was supposed to be more higher on the other side, but as you guys can see, that side broke off, but it still has a nice cradle and it has a hole in it, so we'll let the pin come down through. It also is built up high enough that it supports the bottom of the rod, and now all we need to do is make sure we're putting it from the right side. It does say loose. I can see loose down in that side of it. So let's see how this baby works. Get it kind of centered up on the press. Okay, we're starting to apply some pressure now. Wow. It's pressing into the wood. So I think what we may have to do is switch it around because it's pressing into that rod. So let's try that. I don't like the way that's working. So let's try switching this around. Okay guys, what I've done now is I've taken off this piece here. It seemed to be catching. It worked good on the when I was driving it, because it kept the piston from rolling, but in the press it seemed to be pushing too hard on it. I didn't want to get this rod pushed up in there, so if I did it correctly, I think I lined that up with the bottom of it, and then we put it back here in the press again and give her another try. Tighten it up. See, can you guys see what we're doing? I think you guys can see it. Get her lined up with the hole. Okay. Wow, even the block of wood's kicking out. So, let's see, did it even move it? Didn't even move it. Is that amazing? That's how tight these stupid things are. That is ridiculous. Like I said, I messed up the little cage here, the little spacers that hold the needles in on the other one, and I don't really want to do that on this one. So We may have started to move it before it started to crack. It actually started to crack this block. So that's kind of amazing. Well, should we go back to try the old school method and see if maybe if we I mean, we could heat it up a little bit. I mean, I'm not even towards the bottom of the hole yet. Maybe if this thing was... The block isn't really the squarest thing. That could be part of it. Let's go to take 3. Okay, what I've done now here, and what is this, take 3? I've squared off the bottom of this block. It still has a couple screws holding it together. It could probably use a couple more. I squared off the top a little bit so it sets flusher on these, so they don't seem to move around as much. So we're going to try that with the press again. This lines up with the bottom, something like that. Let's jack her down. Get it sort of in the center. I might be able to use the smaller hole too. Hang on, let me set that up a little different. Let's try this. Maybe that'll give it more support over the little hole. Being that it's long, it helps line it up too a little bit. You can kind of get the straightness. The only thing is since I cut an inch off it, I got to jack it an extra inch. Is it moving? No. Oh, I thought it was moving. Oh, that works better. Okay, so it's in there. Let's try it. It still says loose. Oh, look at that. I think it worked, guys. Take 4 was the trick. Caught it in my coat. There she goes, pink. It's up out of there. Okay, let's release this. Check for any damage. I'm not going to go all the way because we got to come back. And there's the wrist pin. Look at that, it comes right out. So what I'm going to do, I like to know how I did this. Let me set you up in a back at the bench. Okay guys, I got you set back up over here at the bench. I still have the tool and the pin in it. So what we'll do is we'll take out the tool, which worked superbly. I think you could even beat on this and do it. But the press made things a lot easier and it stops giving you boo-boos. So we're going to pull this wrist pin out. Okay, we're going to hold these bearings together. Okay, we won't even have to take them apart if we keep the pins on them. This came out of here this way, so the holes are going to go up. So yeah, that came out of there this way. Does that make sense? Let me think about it for a second. It came out of here this way. The hole is here. The hole would be facing up, yes. So, take this out. Actually, I can look at my other piston too. hole should be pointed up on that side. Yep. So just moving that around so I do it right. All we got to do is slide this little guy in here. Grab a wrist pin. Of course, I need 3 hands. Okay. Has some roughness on it. I was going to put a little oil on it. Can't find my oil can. I don't know where that went. Might make life a little bit easier on the assembly. What I do have over here is a little grease. We'll put that on there. So, can't hurt, right? Put a little grease on it. Now, let's make sure this says loose on this side. So we want to put it through from this side. Okay. Tap on it a little bit. Trying to find the other one went together a lot easier. Huh. There. That's all I wanted it to do. Okay, before we go crazy, check everything, make sure that we put that in there correctly. Holes are facing up. Here's the hole. There's the hole. When this goes in, the smooth side goes towards the exhaust port, which means it'll set in there this way. That is the top of the engine, that way, and the holes are pointed up. So these are good to go. Kind of get them started into that bore. You can look down in there, and it is lined up with the bore. Get our specially tool, and I'll meet you back over at the press. Okay guys, we got you back over here on the press. I don't know if you guys can see what I did down here, but I actually see that piece of green tape? That green tape is approximately the depth that I need to drop to be level with the top of the piston. Be pretty close right there. So we'll stop pushing when that tape hits the top of the piston. So everything is in here, everything feels good. Let's start the procedure. I did put some grease on this to make life a little easier. We're getting close. I'd say about there. Let's see how that little tape line worked for us. And our tool out. I would say, I think I can go a little bit deeper. I would say, yeah, I'm right at the line. I'm at the top of the line using my little tape thing here. So let's get that a little deeper. So I guess when I eyeballed it, I put the piece of tape at the top of the line, and I could go another probably, I don't know, not much. Maybe that. Yeah, that might even be a little too far. But what I think I'll do is I'll put the clip in here. It actually looks pretty darn close. That one looks just a touch too far this way. I think I can tap it back using the device here. Just give it a little whack. Okay? So, be back over at the bench again. Okay, guys. Like I said, this one's really close. I mean, it's just a smidgen from being right. So I'm going to take one of these clips and put that in this side. Get this put together. Maybe. Okay, pink. That one popped right in there, easy peasy. What I'll do is I'll just set this pin in, my little driving pin in here, and give this a couple taps maybe. See if that knocks it down. Let me get the block of wood. The other thing I'm looking for is if this is tightening up on this, we'll know that we're pretty close, and it is not. So we have a little ways. I mean, we're talking just a hair, fraction of an inch. Okay, that seated that one down in there, so I think we're good to go with another clip. Looks pretty good. Yeah, that one's got to be knocked down a little bit farther. It's still not quite going in there the way I want it to. So I just pop that out. Just back in here, give it a couple more taps. Okay. Try that. See if I like it going into the groove now. Yes. Perfection. That one slipped right in there. It fell right in the grooves. Perfect. The rod is on. We have it pointed in the correct direction. So as this is in here, these are pointed up. The holes are this way. The exhaust port is on the right side with the holes here. So when it goes in, it'll be pointed that way. And this one is the white one. Oops. Get you guys in here. That's the white one. So that goes with the white caps and all that stuff. So, I'm not sure how long that video is. I think I'm going to break it up right there. Get you on the next one maybe. I'm probably going to work a little bit more, but I'm going to stop this video here. And but don't worry, I'll shoot more video. I'm just not going to put it in this video. You understand what I'm saying? Good. Because I have no idea what I'm saying. So anyway, guys, but thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And I really do appreciate all your info. And I really appreciate a lot of people going back on some of my old videos and getting... that light is kind of annoying. And checking those out and commenting on it. Oh, you know what I got to do? Okay, one last thing. Maybe. Give me a second. Oh, it's right here. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was that asked or suggested. One of my old videos was an XL 125 that I have out in the shed, and I bought the bike. It was like $100, and the kid couldn't get it running, and they had hacked the wiring together. They actually had did some decent wiring on it, but they weren't thinking right. But I ended up putting a 6-volt battery in it, which was great. And as long as the battery was charged up, the bike ran like a watch. So the charging system had issues. I did buy parts. They're over there in the bench someplace to convert it over to an AC ignition instead of a DC ignition. This gentleman, whoever it was, gentleman, I think it could have been a girl. I don't know. I don't even know what the name was. But anyway, they said to put a diode in there between the red and white wires. And that got me thinking. I'm like, I have this thing, or a rectifier, they said. Now this, I believe, is a diode, because it has that weird symbol here. Maybe I can get it in the light. Can you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it has that weird symbol, like direction one way but not the other, and that's the way a diode works. But I'm thinking, but it was red and white wire, and it was in that bike. and I'm wondering if this is what I need to make it charge. So if you're watching, I told you I would put that in the end of the other video, or no, I commented it, that I would put that in, and this is the device that I have currently. If I need something else, let me know. So anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, subscribing. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye.